There's an old saying in Yorkshire, where there's muck, there's brass. And as you can see by me, I aren't the cleanest. But this morning, it's been absolutely tipping it down. But today, I'm going to show you how to dress reclaimed stone. I'm a stone dresser with over 20 years experience. I'm going to share some tips and tricks and how I back off and process reclaimed stone. Tools that I use when I'm working reclaimed stone is a tungsten 2.5 inch carbide pitching tool. And these are all hand forged locally by a blacksmith in Brighouse, who you've seen me meet before on my previous video, where I went to the stone carving festival at Halifax. And one of the main things about these is keeping them sharp, because if you look how they're designed to go into your stone, as you'll see later on in the video. The other tool that I use is my punch walling hammer, which is 3.5 pounds in weight and is specifically designed for stone dressing due to the curved nature, similar to a brick hammer, by Scan, who I am a brand ambassador for, who I'm very proud to work with. So now let's dress some reclaimed. See, the pile behind me is very muddy. It's been riddled, but obviously you can't get all the muck out of it. So what I do is I process this and I separate your facing stones, your delf stone, which is a high value product, then your secondary random backing style walling, which is your secondary grade product. So your facing stones go on average for £150 a metre, whereas your random walling go on average for £80 a metre. I also separate any cobbles, so any York stone cobbles or sets, and any granite sets. But let's get stuck in. Here's a piece of delf, and whoever's walled this has actually made a royal mistake, and they've re-walled it with cement, which we all know, if you're building a solid stone wall, you shouldn't use cement on reclaimed stone, or in fact any stone really. You should use lime mortar. So what we do with this is we clean the cement off first, and then we proceed to back it off. So backing off is where you reduce the bed so it complies with modern day building. I always say regulations, but it's not a regulation, but it's just requirements is probably the right word. And that's between 150mm to 150 on the bed. So that's actually nearly already done. So I'll just chuck that in the bag and I'll get another piece. I will to back this off just without explaining how to back it off, because they have to think. Normally I don't have to think, you see, but as I'm explaining it, I'd start on this by going down the end. And if you look how I angle it in now, so I'm going to angle that in there. You see how the blows are just delivered nicely. There's no force or anything like that. And then now we're going to do it on the flip side, and we're going to chip it away off there, because if we do it there, it'll break the stone in half. So if we go there like that, just slowly, little bit at a time. If you take too much, it'll break it, with it being thin. Yeah? So that'll do. That'll go in with your random walling. Little tickle there. Yeah, so that's now suitable for building purposes. These are ideal if you're a general builder or anything like that and you're looking for some tips, you've got a wall to build. So that'll be probably roughly your bed. Now, you might just think, right, I'm just going to do that. No. What you need to do, start at that little bit there. So take that little bit away, but make sure, look at the angle. Look how I'm rocking that on there, and then look how I hit it. So yeah. And if you always notice when I'm dressing, I never have my chisel flat on. It's nearly always rotating or moving. This is just how I do it, because obviously I've just done it for that long. It's almost natural. So if you see how I rock the chisel back and forth. Yeah, I'm doing this really slow to show you. Yeah, just how I do it, back and forth, just rocking the chisel, nice and steady. Yeah. Make sure we've got no protrusion. Then that'll be your face. With it being random walling, you don't need to do anything more than that. That's absolutely fine. Here, this is a slab that I'm going to split into 2 pieces. You could use a saw, you could probably smash it with your hammer, but I'm going to split it in half using this. And you've seen me use this on many occasions. It's become a bit of a parody about using my tungsten carbide nicker. And if you can see down there, that has got tungsten carbide brazed into it. And these are perfect if you're splitting stone. We call them nickers over here, but in America, they call them tracers. And I think that comes down to the term that you trace the stone all the way around. So let's give it a go. It does sound quite hollow though, so I don't know how it'll go. You can hear how hollow it is. You know what I mean? Compared to there. You can feel the different, the noise in the stone. That's what people always say, listen to your stone. See? So right, I'm going to try and nick and brett this now, but I'm just going to do it. And see? It's already quite laminated, look at that. But it will go. If you're a drywaller, obviously you wouldn't dress that, you'd just use that as a through stone. But I'm making building stone, you see. So that's the difference. People will be like, that's a lovely piece of walking stone or a through stone. But for me, I need to get the most out of it to get my meterage up. So obviously, all my work is on price. I don't think that'll go, but we'll give it a go. Alright, that's gone. So yeah, so this were a flag once upon a time, but now it's going to be walling stone because all the faces is knackered. Because you can see where they've chiselled that back in there like that to get the edge. So I'm guessing it were actually a coping stone, not a flag. But let's joint that there, take that off. Same on the other end. Get that off there. And there we have it. That'll do. Do a little technique where we have to redress the stone. But first off, let's make it so the bed is flat all the way along. And I'm going to take that bit off there because I don't like it. Yeah. And then this technique this is the difference between dressing and backing off. Backing off's where you reduce the bed and dressing's where you dress the face. So what we're going to do is just watch this here. You see straight down the line, because I don't want to hit my camera. So what we're going to do is just dress that in. See how I'm choking the hammer as well, because I only want to take little bits off, so I hold it higher up. So I don't want to hold it further down because that's where I'll deliver maximum swing. But I'm just doing the little intricate stuff, so I always hold it higher up. Yeah. So there we go. That's now been redressed in. Little tickle there. So yeah, that'll do that. It's a piece of redress stone. So if you live in a house which is around near where I live, like West Yorkshire and that lot, a lot of the houses in the 70s and 80s were built out of this because they didn't like the reclaimed face on the stone because it reminded them of the soot and the mills back in the Industrial Revolution. So they redressed a lot of the stone, especially painted stone. I separate them into the correct bags. So in this bag we've got random walling, and in this bag we've got delft stone. And if you ever do need any stone or anything like that, then just drop me an email. Email's in my bio, and we can try and help you get some sourced. And obviously if you have any stone you need working as well, we can see we can sort that. But I am extremely bloody busy. I've told you a little bit how to dress stone. I'm going to have some snap. It's absolutely tipping it down now. So I'm going to have some snap, hopefully it'll settle a little bit, and then I'm going to set my camera up over there, do a little time lapse, and then you'll see me working into this pile of reclaimed stone. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that little bit of tips. And if there's out you ever unsure of, just drop me a message. And obviously, like and subscribe, I do appreciate it. Because I'm just a Yorkshire lad trying to show that there's still hard-working, grafting trades out there. And where there's muck, there's brass, as we say. Oh, so it's actually stopped raining. Rain by 7. What is it? Rain before 7, fine by 11. So what I've got here is some bits that I can't work behind. So what I'm going to do is use my Stihl TS 420, because I like it with a bigger depth, like 14-inch blade. I've got an Ox TX10R blade on this as well. I'm going to cut these bits up here into some walling stone. When cutting stone, I would always recommend using water suppression if you have it available. So then what we use next to split them is a wedge. And these add an absolute godsend. Or a stringer. Stringers are normally your larger ones, but we call them wedges. Then you just pop that in the maul, and a maul is a big, massive 14-pound hammer, and it's got your pie end, which used to hit your wedge, and then it's got your other end, which is for scrappling. And they don't make these anymore, and they are, I can't think of the word. They're imperative for us stone workers. We need them. Ideal. You could use a sledgehammer and a bolster if you wanted, if you don't have one of these, but obviously we're using right tools, it helps. If you are looking to purchase any of the tungsten tools that I'm using, you can buy them from RHG Travis & Sons, Combine Masonry Supplies, or Southern Stone. In the flags now, as they say in Yorkshire. So do you know where that saying came from? It came from back in the day when they used to say it were that warm, it would change the formation of the rock type and it'd split your flags in quarter with the expanding and contracting of your flagstones. Cracking flags, lad. Don't know where I'm going to put my other bags like. So yeah, I'm doing these videos as well while you're working because obviously I get paid for how much I produce as well, so sometimes I have to take a loss to I enjoy doing it though, you know what I mean, and it helps keep my mind busy. I make some money now. What if I got up 1, 2, 3 bags? What time is it? 11:30. Not doing too bad. You're also thinking, how did you even get into stone trade, James? Well, like most people who work in construction, I didn't do very well at school, and I got offered a job in a stone yard by one of my mum and dad's mates. So 15 I was, my birthday's not till July. I took opportunity. I did actually want to be a plumber, but I knew I wasn't going to get the qualifications to get on the course to get the placements. So I got offered a full-time job and my first wage was £117 and 3p, and I got it in a nice little brown envelope and I felt on top of the world. First bit of proper brass, even though I'd always grafted in school holidays and that, even selling dodgy DVDs at one point. And I fell in love with grafting and working and built my work ethic around it. And then when I went self-employed and started my business, Stone Dressing Services, back in 2021, 4 years ago, I never dreamed I'd be working in some of the places I work, and the social media wasn't even part of it, you know what I mean? I would have never have thought in a million years I'd be here dressing stone in the first place I ever worked. The main place that made me put my notice in. Telling people on YouTube about it. It's crazy. It really is crazy what can happen sometimes. This is my job. It's my business, you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it as real as possible. Like people do say to me, James, do you think you'll ever stop doing stone? Who knows? Just see what happens. I do like it, but it is hard graft, as you've obviously seen today. Who knows what's round the corner? I won't ever go back being employed, that's for sure. Not while my youngest is still at school, because that's the main reason why I did it. So I could pick her up from school, and that's what I try and do every day, and I've done it nearly every day since she started school. Because childcare was just going to be unaffordable for me and my wife with the work in the hospital, doing 12, 13-hour shifts with 2 kids. You do what you have to do, don't you? You get in early, bash, get me cash, and get done for about 2ish, so then I can get home and pick her up from school and then take her to all her after school stuff, and eldest as well. So like I say, I missed out on all that with my eldest. Always working. I still work on it now, like, but I work it around me. So if I want to do 7 days, then I can do 7 days, and then I'll have a Monday off or something like that. I'll also tell me guys what you want to see from me on my channel. There's a lot more I can do, but obviously I try and tie it into my work as well. I do like doing the explanation styles, I do like doing the copings, but today it's just a bit more about what I actually do, and a bit about me as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to carry on bashing now. Appreciate it if you watch this, I really do. If you look back, what you can achieve through hard work and believing in yourself and backing yourself, you can achieve a lot. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting all sentimental.